Welcome once again, everyone. This video will be about how to complete the vSphere Install Configure Manage Lab 7, which is about networking. Let's take a look at the objectives. We want to view the standard switch configuration of an existing switch, and then view the standard switch or create a standard switch with a virtual machine port group, and then attach the virtual machine to the virtual port group. That's our objective of this lab. So we'll start at task 1, view the student switch configuration, and ask us to log into the VCSA. So if you're not sure where that is, in these labs it's right here. vSphere at the top left, vSphere Site A, we click on SA-VCSA-01. And then we log in with administrator at vSphere.local, and I've saved the password. So log in. After you log in, go to the inventory, host, and clusters. Okay, we are there. Otherwise, you would go to inventory, and then the left icon is host and clusters. Okay, after that, we expand ICM Data Center, ICM Data Center. It's expanded. Go to SAESXIO1. This is the first one. If you can't see things, you can hover above here and move things over. Make sure you have the right thing. Maybe move it back so you have more space in the right afterwards. Click Configure. Okay. We are in the right place. Click Configure in the right space. So we're on Configure. It usually stops on Summary, so you would click on Configure right there. Under Networking, select Virtual Switches. Okay, so we have to expand this a little bit so we can see some things better. Let me make this larger for just a moment. Okay, we're under Storage. We want to go under Networking, don't we? So I had to expand and make this larger so I could see it. Let's put it back and see how it looks. Yep. Storage is here, so we could go here to Networking and then select Virtual Switches right there. We select Virtual Switches and then review the information. And they have some questions. Which physical adapters are connected to switch 0? It looks like VMNIC 0, VMNIC 4. Which port groups are connected to switch 0? Well, that's a VM kernel port, so it's not that one, not this one. It's not that one. We have VM network. That's the only port group. We have 3 VM kernel ports, but 1 port group. And which virtual machines and templates are connected to the VM network port group? Okay, let's go see. We expand right here, and we can see that Linux 02, Linux 04, Linux 06, etc. You can see the names of the ones that are there. You just have to expand the virtual machines to see which machines they are. Task 2. You create a standard switch and virtual machine port group on ESXi 01, SAESXi 01, and SAESXi 02. Okay, so we're on ESXi 01, and they say to click Add Networking. So we add networking, and then they say select virtual machine port group. What do you want to add? Not a network adapter, not a physical network adapter, but we want to add a port group. So click there. And click Next. That was B. Now on C, select the device target new switch. So we could put it on the existing switch, but that's not what they want us to do. They want us to add a new switch. So we'll select that. And we're not changing the MTU, so just click Next. On the Create a Standard Switch page, select VMNIC 2 and move down until VMNIC 2 appears under Active Adapters. So to make it active, we move down. Okay, we go down. I'm clicking down till it's under Active. Now it's under Active Adapters. Okay, that's all they want. Nothing else. Click Next. On the connection settings, under Production, in the Networks label, enter Production in the Networks label. And one thing that's very important here is it is case sensitive. So we're going to put Production. Make sure I spell it right. Double check. Yes. And click Next. No VLAN at this time. We'll click Next. If you want to add VLANs, this is where you do it. Next. Okay. We just verify that it's spelled correctly and click Finish. In the Virtual Switches panes, collapse vSwitch 0 and expand vSwitch 1. Okay, let's take that, expand it, collapse it, and right here we're going to take a look at the vSwitch 1 that we just created. We didn't have to name it that, by the way. It just gives it the next number. Now you see your masterpiece. Here is Production. It has one physical adapter. Verify the port group Production is on vSwitch 1 and that VMNIC 2 is the physical adapter. It's here and this is here. So that's correct. Now add a virtual machine port named Production to SA-ESXi02. So we want to add a virtual machine port to SA-ESXi02. So we go down and select ESXi02 at the bottom. Click Add Networking. Now we're going to click Add Virtual Machine Port Group. That's the second option. On the selected target, on the Select Target page, click New Standard Switch. Okay, we click Next here. And we don't want to go to the existing switch. We want to add a new switch, New Standard Switch. And then click Next. Now we're going to select VMNIC 2 and move it down until it's under the active adapters again. So we select VMNIC 2 and click Move Down. Keep clicking it till it's under active adapters. And then click Next. On the connection settings page, enter Production. Let's make sure we spell it exactly the same. Production. If I made it a lowercase p, it would be incorrect. We have to spell it exactly case sensitive like they want us to do it. Okay, then we click Next. We check, double check our settings, and then click Finish. Collapse vSwitch 0 and expand vSwitch 1. Here's vSwitch 0, expand 1. Verify that Production port group is on vSwitch 1 and that VMNIC 2 is the physical adapter. Yes it is. Yes it is. Very good. So we'll click on Task 3 and move to Task 3. So in the navigation pane, select VMs and Templates and expand VM Labs. So here is VMs and Templates right here in the upper left. And then we expand Lab VMs. Well, they expanded automatically, but you would click right here if you had to expand them. Okay, it says connect the Linux 02 to the Production port group. So in the navigation pane, select the Linux 02 machine, then right click it and select Edit Settings. So we right click it and Edit Settings is down around midway, right here. We click Edit Settings and find Network Adapter 1. It's right here. Click the downward arrow next to VM Networks. Okay, I think I clicked something I shouldn't have. Click the downward right here and then click Browse. So we don't want to be on VM Network anymore. We want to select Production that we just created. So click on Production and click OK. Then they want us to expand network adapter 1 and verify that connect at power on is selected. It is, and click OK. So what is this? This is connected. I suppose it's power off, so it can't be on right now. Okay, just click power, connect at power on and click OK. And in the right pane, click the summary. It's selected. View the VM hardware and verify production group is listed. So, if we look at the VMware hardware, click off and back on it. Maybe that'll help. Okay, we go down to hardware and we can see the network adapter is connected to production. Alright, we've verified that we're in the right place. Now, power on VM02, number 5. I'll right click, power on. In Linux 02 summary, launch the web console. Wait for the boot process to complete. Okay, we're going to launch the web console. To do this, we go to the top here. And let's give it just a moment. We'll launch the web console. It opened another tab automatically. I'll close it. I think it wanted for us to wait for it to complete booting. We'll try it again. There it is. Okay, so it did complete booting. We launched the web console. Now click terminal icon. The terminal icon is over here on the left. Click that. And be patient. There it comes up. And then at the command prompt, enter IP space A. IP A. And then we get some information about the IP configuration. At the command prompt, let's see, enter ping, and it wants to ping 172.20.11.2, and we get a response. No, we don't want to upgrade, thank you very much. Okay, and I'll click Control C to stop that ping. So it can ping its gateway, so we know it has an IP address. So we close the VM console. We can close the console now. Just want to make sure I close the correct tab. Okay, it's this one right here. We still have our vSphere client over here. Okay, we close the client. Oops, I think I did not close the terminal. I'll open it again and close the terminal first. Close the terminal, and then close the console. Repeat steps 2 through 11 on Linux 4. Okay, we want to do this for Linux 4 also. So in other words, click on 4, Linux 4, right click, edit settings, and after edit settings comes up, we found our network 1, and we don't want to do this. We want to browse and put it on the production network. So these two will be on the same network. After that, connection at power on. That was convenient. It opened by mistake for me. Go ahead and click OK. Then right click, power, and power on. So we're going to let it boot. We'll wait a moment for it to come up. In the small screen, sometimes you can see, like we can now, that the VMware screen comes up, then Ubuntu comes up and starts booting. And I'll try and see if it's up yet. Not yet. Now the second one's come up. Now we go to terminal. And IP space A is our first command. And then we did ping 172.20.11.2. And we can ping our gateway so we know we have an IP address. Then we close this. And then we close our console. Then we shut down Linux 2 and 4. Okay, shut down Linux 2 and 4. So we right click Linux 2, power, shut down guest OS, yes, and they say to do the same thing for 4. So we'll shut these two down. Power, shut down guest OS, yes. And that's the end of the lab. Thank you very much for watching.